like a 25-gallon hydraulic tank.
Yeah.
These, you can operate it from either side. So it's like when you have the log lift down.
Yeah.
You they should be able to drop without.
Yeah, just the weight of it.
And here's the cool part.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
You don't have to start the engine to raise it if you need to move it out of the way just to, off the ground so you can.
And it's intended to do that, or that's something?
Yeah, you can do that.
discovered?
No, that's how they did it when I was at the factory.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are the auto cycle levers. You just hit them, then it when it gets to full extension, as long as it's adjusted properly, it pops, comes back in about a second and a half, and then that trips.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that keeps it down to the 120, 140 degree range when that cooler runs.
Yeah.
What does this thing suck the fuel compared to that 6.5 horse?
Yeah.
It'll burn twice the fuel in the same amount of time. But when you're running that 12-way wedge, it'll crank off 3 times the amount of wood.
Yeah. Okay.
I happened to line it up. I cut this one just a little bit long.
What type of motor is that?
Honda GX390 13 horse.
Okay.
Got the interstate battery.
Not a Menards battery in there?
What?
Not a Menards battery?
Oh no, they don't put junk on this thing. This thing is a true commercial grade.
It's all aluminum? Maybe it looks like aluminum, right?
Not sure. It probably is aluminum.
Stainless.
No, that's all steel. Powder coated steel, and this is the filter and filler to top it off.
That looks easy.
It has a little seepage. Yeah. Concentric pump. Compare that to your box store splitters pumps.
So,
It's a heavy cast iron pump.
I like these fittings on here too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice clamp.
You can just get like a length of hose, and then you don't have a special hose you have to worry about for that.
Well, yeah, you want, especially the high pressure lines. This is set for a 3,000 psi, and that's what the hoses are rated for. Yeah, I got a little hickory, so. No, I made a delivery to myself. I left the wood in the truck that I finished putting all those rounds here yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe you drove by, you saw that pile of wood. That's all been stacked. And that's all the debris. A lot of that comes from
Just
wood trying to go through sideways. It'll just. So when I had the single wedge on there, those big rounds like this,
yeah.
I'd split them sideways. I could have it bottom down and just push it right through and no problem.
Yeah.
This thing is not loud when it's at idle,
Yeah.
but when it revs up, you gotta warm it up a little bit before you start running it. Nice and quiet when it's I had the fuel valve off, so. Yeah, when it revs up, it's loud. These engines don't like it when you leave the fuel valve on. Let that warm up a bit. What do you think of my
That's pretty...
best employee?
Of your what? Oh, your best employee?
Well, it's the best employee this week because I've been splitting. I haven't run the saw, so then that'll be the best employee.
It doesn't give you any snack, huh?
Nope. What do you think of how fast it is?
Pretty good. You split your stuff pretty small too. But
Well, that's for bundles, and you just tripled the price you could sell it for.
Yeah.
By splitting it small. So instead of $360 a cord, you're looking at $1,000 a cord.
Okay.
But then if you had it barkless, you may be able to double that.
And you can get them in the bags easier.
Yeah. But if it's barkless, you could sell it as premium cooking wood. If you do it as barbecue chips for like your wood chips, electric smokers, or the smoker pans in your grills, you could probably sell it. You could sell a semi-load of wood and make your income for the year.
Oh, God.
If it's as barbecue chips.
Oh my God.
So if you have the way to chip and dry it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why you.
That one time you're set, huh?
Yeah. So this is the size you'd want for smokers like this. But ideally, a lot of these smokers, you want them, 12-inch. So you'd have to have a pretty good sized smoker for that, for 16-inch. But yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that something like this is worth the 11 grand with the options?
Yeah, if it's part of your business.
Yeah. Well, it has the 700, 815, 1800. Yeah, with the 12-way wedge, it's got like $2,500 of options on it. Yeah, because the electric start, the faster cycle for 2 seconds quicker, the 12-way wedge, which I don't have with me, and then that cooler.
Yeah.
But the cooler is what's going to save your cylinder of pumps when you start running it hard in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't run it all that hard because I'm not doing that volume of production, but those box store splitters, you can notice those hydraulic tanks, how hot they get.
Yep, because they're not getting cool.
Yeah, that's why those things go so slow after if you split for a few seasons, especially in that warm weather. It burns the seals out and all that. It just wears them out faster. Yeah, when you buy something like this, it's a lifetime machine. The only things you really have to replace are the slider parts. I might have to replace the side parts or flip them. It's starting to look like it's getting a little bit of a slop in there. But yeah, the upper parts, it's greasable, so yeah, I might have to.
Are you gonna keep this machine for a while? Or?
Well, until if I were to upgrade to a box wedge machine.
That's the next step.
Yeah, that would be the really only real step above this, because if I order small wood, I'll just 16-inch and under, just run the 12-way one and done. Easy, 1 cord an hour. Try doing a fireplace wood at 1 cord an hour with a box store splitter. Ain't gonna happen. If you have a conveyor to say like load a dump trailer, just let it pile up. And then you have a 1 person operate it and 2 to feed it, so you don't get worn out feeding it. You could probably crank out easy 2 cord an hour. As long as it all fits through the 12-way wedge, 1 and done.
Season in 2 hours.
Yeah, for the average homeowner. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of the build construction? Take a look at the welds.
Yeah, it looks heavy. Yeah, the welds look nice. I can see.
Yeah, this is AR 400 steel. I'm not sure, maybe 500.
Probably robotic weld, something.
This stuff is, you have to heat the crap out of it, heat it to 400 degrees, weld it, heat it again so it doesn't cool too fast. You're in product manufacturing, been involved in that. You don't want this to crack. You can tell this is at least a double pass weld. The welds on the splitter beam, that might be robotic, just to control the
yeah, I can see down the beam that
the lower part is it might be, but yeah, they might have Yeah, I think they have some kind of fixture just to keep it perfect.
Probably. That's a lot of welding.
But yeah, at least on the to make the beam. But then welding on these tabs, you know, these parts and that, have it set up in a jig where they just hand weld that, I'm sure.
Is it done in a factory?
Yeah, it's only 160 miles from home to get there.
Okay. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, you should see. Sometimes if you watch my videos, you can see the log lift comes up. I stop the lift and the wood jumps up off the log lift like that.
Stop so abruptly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.